We're here at Black Dyke Fisheries in Norfolk, and we're going to be taking a look at something that I didn't even know existed until about 3 days ago. So we're going to be taking a look at this Tenkara fishing rod by Rigged and Ready. So when the postman came the other day and I took this little thing out of the packet, I thought, oh, what an absolute fantastic whip this is going to be for just picking out little tiny silverfish. And it weren't until Andy says, you know, get yourself together and actually have a look at what this is all about. So this is a Tenkara fishing rod, and like I said, I didn't have a clue that these things existed, to be perfectly honest, until 3 days ago. So after a bit of research, a bit of YouTube videos, it looks like it's going to be something else that I'm going to be absolutely fixated on. So let's just take a look at actually what Tenkara fishing is. So Tenkara fishing is a Japanese method of fishing. So Tenkara was developed by people that used to hike up into the mountains so that they could fish the rivers, the brooks and the lakes to be able to catch as many fish as they possibly could to take down and feed the families or sell them on. So just recently Tenkara fishing has become massive in the US, and it's slowly sort of filtering into other parts of the world and into the UK as well. And when you're carrying something as tiny as this, you can see just how easy it is to head out travel fishing. So this Tenkara rod is produced by Rigged and Ready. It weighs next to nothing, 60 grams this thing weighs, with a length of 3.25 meters. They're produced by Rigged and Ready, and they're available in the UK, so I'll stick a link to them in the description below. So let's just take a little look at the pole itself. So as you can see by the tip of the actual pole, it is really small. It's really delicate. Even though the pole itself is made from high modular carbon, it is a really strong rod when it's fully set up and playing fish. But just generally around the bank, you need to be very careful with the tip and pretty much all of the Tenkara rod itself. So the Tenkara rod comes in this wonderful little plastic travel tube, and then inside the rod itself is in a nice little neoprene case. Obviously this is not protecting it at all. You've got a spare tip that is inside that as well, and then you've got the pole itself. Like I said, this is 3.25 meters when this is fully extended. So anyway, so with the stopper out, let's stick the stopper in our pocket, and then let's get the tip of the pole out. Now it's literally, you can see how thin the tip of this is. So we're literally just pulling it out section by section and just gently securing it into place. Well, let's extend it all the way. Right, so there we go. We've got a lovely little pole to be casting with. Now remember, this is, your line is attached directly to the tip of the pole, so you're not going to be casting any distance with these at all. So these things are really suited for rivers, brooks and streams. They're not really suited for still water, but we're going to be giving a go just on the margin of the lake just here as well. Right, so let's have a look at the rig and how this attaches to the tip of the pole. We're going to be using a furled line, which is a braided, almost like a silk line that we're going to be using, which is pretty much going to be the length of this rod with about 3 foot of tippet on the end. So we've got our rig rolled up on one of these spools here. So the line, or the main line that we're using, is this braided furled line, and on the tip of that you've got another piece of braid, which is what we attach to the lilian. So all we're going to do is just pass the line through that little bit of braid, loop that over the lilian, and we're just going to draw this into itself. So like I mentioned before, the tip of this is very fine and very delicate, and you don't want to put any extra stress on this when you're trying to draw knots together. So what's recommended is if you push the actual stopper in so that you've just got the lilian just sticking out of the side, and then all you want to do is then just draw that little loop up that you've just made nice and tight, so that is attached to the knot on the end of the lilian. And then once that's out, draw your pole up, and then you're pretty much ready to go. So there we go. So in a nutshell, that is Tenkara fishing. Like I say, I'm a complete novice. This is the first time I've actually rigged this up, and I'm really looking forward to giving this a go this evening. And I'm also looking forward to taking this up into the mountains to give it a go in some of the little streams and brooks. But anyway, there's a hatch just happening in midges right now, so let's get this in the water and see whether we can pick something up. Very simple method, and I do like it. Yay, fish on. Here we are. So there we go, so that is just a short little look at the Tenkara fishing rod by Rigged and Ready. I'll stick a full specification to this in the description below, and also a link to the product as well. Please keep your eyes peeled for the next videos coming out, because we've got a few more fishing rods from Rigged and Ready to take a look at. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, then please hit the subscribe button just below there, and as always, a couple of videos there for you to take a look at, and we'll see you next week on the next one.